drive, John.
Okay.
And then my son, he drove out there, Alan, he drove out for a little while. He's trying to get a car together now, but I don't know. But yeah, we raced with the St. John's and the Arnolds and Thompson and just about everybody out there, you know.
Why do you think you just kept going back year after year? What was it that made you keep
I
going back?
just all the people and the excitement and just having a lot of fun. It was cheap fun back then. You could get an old car and put a roll cage in it and go out there and race.
Okay. What's the worst thing that ever happened to you out on the racetrack, do you think?
Oh, heck, I don't know. Probably the worst thing when I lost the wheel and I run over and grabbed it, went over the pit wall there, or over the fence, and I grabbed it, not thinking about the hub being hot, and it just sizzled my fingers.
Uh-huh.
That's about the worst I got hurt. I don't know. I never did have any real bad wrecks that hurt me, but you know.
What's your thoughts about running the figure eight?
Oh, I loved it. A lot of people think you just get out there and run, and when you get to the crossover, you look to see if you make it. But when you up there in this corner, you're looking to see who's coming. That's how you get to that crossover most of the time.
Tell about your first car you ever drove out there.
The first
Remember
one I
the first
ever
one?
drove, it was an old 49 Chevy.
Okay.
Got hit in the back end, so I couldn't drive it on the street, so I put a roll cage in it and drove it on the track. But then I went to Ford's. I had a 57 Ford. I won a few races in it. That was probably my best one. And then later on, I got a 65 Ford and had a big V8 in it. Went out there for the 3 hour. I didn't make the race, but I was the first alternate and made a few laps. And the last guy on the track pulled out, and he didn't know whether to go or stop, and he stopped, and I nailed him. So that ended my racing career. That was the last time I drove.
Oh, okay.
That 1983. But
And in 50 years, 100 years from now, a lot of kids are going to look back and say, what was the Speedrome? What do you think you'd want somebody to know about the Speedrome
well,
50 years from now?
well, that was the first figure eight track I believe there ever was. I think the Art Zip actually started the first figure eight, and there's been a lot of other figure eight tracks since then, but I believe that was actually the first one. I believe my brother Bob drove in the very first one.
Yeah, Bob always said you drove in that first one.
Yeah. I remember when it was dirt out to the infield, you know, and and it rained, it muddy, and them cars come through there like slow motion. They bump and go spinning. it was a mess back then, but it's really been improved since then, you know, the track itself has.
Okay.
But yeah, we enjoyed every bit of it. My mom and sisters used to go out there, and we was out there when Darrell Derringer was racing. He went down to the 500 Daytona, you know, and raced late models, but he started out there. And my brother had a Ford, a guy named Doug Noble drove for him, and he run against Darrell every night. You know, they was the first two place cars, you know. But yeah, it was a lot of fun, man.
Now, I'm going to pick your brain on something I don't think you've ever. Of all the people that never get a whole bunch of credit, who's the fellow that you think is probably one of the best drivers you've ever seen, but maybe not the one everybody knows?
Well, of course, I'm a little prejudiced, but I think my brother Bob was.
Okay.
And he never did, you know, they never put him in the Hall of Fame or anything. And I never could understand that, but I know I wound up in that category, but you know, he should have been, because he won championships and everything. And so,
Okay.
yeah, I don't know, but Chuck, he's won a lot of features out there. He had an old 47 Hudson Coupe he run. He won a lot of features in that thing. That's probably the car that lasted the longest. He's had it for 5 years out there, so That's about the only car I know lasted that many years.
Yep.
But, yeah, just a good place, family fun and everything. I mean, had a lot of good times out there.
Well, thank you.
You're more
Thank
than
you,
welcome.
Bill. I'll let you get on back to the fun game.
Okay.